Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we're going to be jumping down into the world of XRP, taking a look at the most recent price action and what I would expect to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and why not tap that bell and stay up to date with all of the videos that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, check it out guys, linked in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. Okay, let's jump right down into this. XRP paired up with USDT on the hourly chart, and Binance is the data source. And you can see that we're just coming down right now in the last hour or so here, and just looking to kind of get rejected out of our supply range area. Now, on XRP here, on this smaller time frame, we have been kind of bouncing around a little bit. And it's kind of been in a ranging-ish market. We've kind of moved down reasonably low towards 39.67. We've moved back up again, and we kind of have these kind of dashed lines. I'm going to adjust these just a little bit to these next kind of extremes. What I'm looking for specifically is to kind of come down a little bit here, a little bit lower than 39.88. Let's go ahead and just zoom in on this just a second here. Okay, so one of the issues that we have is we're looking for structures that are more meaningful. Here we kind of have a three-wave structure completing, and now we're looking to move on down. It does look like we're kind of looking for completion around here. So I'm kind of on the fence as to knowing exactly which direction this is likely to go in. We could potentially move down maybe towards 40 cent, but I'm looking for us to come down a little bit lower than 39.88, because what we can see is we can see another three-wave drop from up here. Okay, we can kind of see it right in that there. And we also have another one going up here as well. You can see how it's all just kind of bouncing around and is all corrective. Okay, but if we were to think of this as a bigger corrective structure, then I would be looking at the move coming down as an A, up here into a B, and then we come down, right? And then we look at the subwave count. You come down in 3, up in 3, to come down in 3. So it looks like there's this kind of complicated kind of sideways structure, lots of overlapping structures, and being strung together are these series of three-wave moves. But it's not a guarantee, and it's not a guarantee because there's actually a shift in the momentum. We can kind of see it here, the fact that we are oversold. So to come on down this low is highly unlikely. So we probably end up actually moving up rather than moving down. So I wanted to kind of show you the more bearish kind of scenario on the wave count side, and then also kind of reflect on the fact that our momentum, our oscillator indicator down here, is actually saying that an upward directional move is more probable, because that's really, it's oversold. It's kind of where the people are kind of trying to take the price. So we can see we do have and have already met our three-wave structure here, meaning that our next move should potentially be up. Now we can of course come down a little bit further. That's fine, more towards 40 cent or so. But we've met our minimum here. So the next move would potentially be to the upside. On the 4-hour chart, we can see that there's still room to correct down and come out of our supply area. So we probably are not done just yet. We'll see how that kind of goes. Plenty of room to the downside on the 4-hour. The 12 hours good to go up. 16 hours should be good to go up. 20 hours good to go up. And then, of course, if we take a look at this one, the daily is just heading into the oversold. Now, the daily chart is interesting on XRP because it has found consolidation and rejection just on the 200 daily EMA. Okay, we can see that right in here. Okay, so we can see that we're getting rejected from our 200 EMA, and our 50 EMA is looking to move on up. So a golden cross on the daily is something that we could potentially start seeing here really, really soon. Now, obviously heading into oversold, but we're not oversold yet. We can, of course, spend quite a bit of time in this oversold area and move right back up into overbought, right, without actually, making the price move up terribly too much. So we are right on the rejection line here, and we can dance around this 200 EMA like we did before, but, chances are we probably are not going to keep it, and we're probably not going to close above it if we actually start reflecting on our weekly time frame. Our weekly time frame has a death cross looming on the 50 and 200 EMAs and is overbought. Okay, we can see that there's potential to move up just slightly higher. This is, of course, an area where we are right now is actually right in here. If I show you this, right, this little yellow box area here, this is the area where we were finding demand. And right now, this is an area that we're looking to find as our supply, our resistance, right? And this is basically 42.22 to 45.75 cent. So on our weekly chart, it's very, very bearish, right? We can see that our oscillator is high, it's overbought. Now it can be up here for some time, so we're not saying it has to come down right away, but I do think this is going to be a bearish week. We'll see how that kind of goes. We can also see that this is an area of resistance, and we do have that death cross looming. But to counter that, our daily chart is actually looking good. We're oscillator oversold, potentially has moved upwards here, and yeah, this actually looks more positive than negative, with a golden cross looming in the next kind of week or so. So this is definitely a difficult market to read. As you can kind of see, though, my expectations are still to come on down just a fraction lower under the wave counts that we currently have here. Looking at it, this could be an interesting structure in itself. We don't really have a clear-cut wave count going up here on our daily chart, so it could just be a minor correction, another move upwards before we actually fall on down. So do expect some volatility. I'm not expecting this to be a clean-cut move for XRP. I would expect it to kind of come down a bit and then go back up. But I'm not really looking for it to pierce the highs of 55.9. And as we already are getting rejected from our 200 EMA here, if we were to move up any higher, I think it will be very, very brief, and then we'll just come right on back down. The weekly time frame is probably one of the most concerning for us at the moment on XRP. But if I go up and throw in the volume profiles here, you can, of course, see that at the moment, the volumes are dropping as we are coming up against this resistance. This is a positive. So, this daily chart is looking pretty good at the moment. I'm not too concerned about that. We do, of course, have decrease in volumes here. We can kind of see this across the macros. So it's not looking great from a volume perspective. Now, if I come back over into our daily chart here on this one, you can see that we're fighting this EMA. Obviously, we just spoke about that. And if I come down here and throw in the RSR, or RSI, I should say, we can, of course, acknowledge that we have got bearish divergence on that just over here, right? No, we don't, not there. Here's our bearish divergence, right? So taking this high price here, okay, we can see that the RSI was not overbought. Then we take this lower high, and we have gone up higher than the original RSI level. So this again shows us that there is some bearishness on the daily chart, but it is kind of disguised inside the RSI, whereas everything else is actually looking pretty positive. So I think this is going to catch a lot of people out with how the market moves. My personal expectations are a small move down, another move upwards, and a retest of our 200 EMA on our weekly chart, somewhere up in this range between 42.2 and 45.75 is the area that I'm focusing in on. And from there, really, I think we can then come on down and we can continue our corrective structure at the end of this move. So hopefully you found this useful, guys. I'm going to leave the video there. If you have, hit the like button. I do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And don't forget, guys, join us down in Discord. I don't think you'll regret it. Until the next one, have a fantastic day.